All right. I thought our guys did a really good job today. I don't take for granted these type of games. You know, maybe sometimes some people do, and fans especially, and understand that team, which is much improved player-wise from what they added in the portal, beat Vanderbilt last year. So, you know, to play 63-7, so what is that, 46-0 run after they scored. So, when you play 46-0 football, you're doing a lot of things really well on offense and defense, special teams. So really pleased by the offensive balance. You know, 695 yards and 295 on the ground in a game that, you know, only 2 returning starters on offense and 2 on defense. Thought our defense did really well outside of one play, but we got a lot of work on too. You know, we had the 2 turnovers, and we got to tackle better. So obviously we got a huge challenge next week. So excited to go back to work with these guys, and I think you saw a team that's got a chance to be good. You know, you look around the country, a lot of times these games, you know, be 1-2 score games and stuff, and so I was really pleased with that. Pleased how I thought our team played pretty clean today. So good start. Want to know. Tylo today, huh? Okay.
Obviously, haven't had a chance to watch film or anything, but how would you evaluate Austin's first start?
Yeah, he had one really bad play. You know, the second interception. The first one's not his fault. The right guard gets beat. You know, they're in a blow-in coverage. We're going to score a 75-yard touchdown, walk in the end zone, and the guy that blows the coverage picks it off. So that's not his fault. The other one is. And you know, we've seen that before with young quarterbacks, kind of almost the same interception we saw Jackson throw at home to his right his first year. So, but I thought he did some really good things. Scrambled the way that we would want, you know, slid and took care of himself, but also showed that he can move around and make some plays with his feet. I thought Trinidad did a really good job coming in, and so really glad that both those guys did well outside of one really poor play.
Lane, you talked in fall camp about Keywan Lacey and how explosive he'd been. Just what do you think about his explosiveness tonight and really carrying the offense and doing some great things for y'all?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I just tell you how it is. We didn't have that, you know, a year ago, and so it's really good to have it back. I was looking forward to that, you know, kind of thinking he was going to play like that because that's how he practices, and got a unique skill set of speed and power. So it's great to see that a ball can break and go score and not get caught. Makes it a lot easier not to call more plays afterwards. So that was great to see.
Lane, just kind of initial eye test assessment of how you felt the O-line did, especially in that first half.
Yeah, I thought, you know, you would think with the output, you know, it would have been cleaner. You know, we got beat a couple of times at guard, both sides, and so I thought it was pretty inconsistent. But some good things on Keywan's longer run, and some good finish with some things. I'd say actually better in the run game than the pass game at times.
Caleb transitioned from wide receiver to tight end. This is his first, you know, game doing it, and look, he's been kind of banged up the last couple of weeks. What did you kind of think of his debut in that, and becoming kind of a favorite target for Austin there, especially as he was trying to get going in the second and third quarter?
Yeah, Caleb was doing great in camp. Had an injury, I think missed like last week and a half before this week, so we just got him back. And you know that was tough to miss those times in a transition to another position playing tight end. But he did some good things in there, and I think he's a really good weapon to have. And so he did good. Daquan we pulled because you know, he was just playing a lot of plays and didn't feel like we should keep playing him. But Daquan played great prior to that.
Coach Harrison Wallace looks like he's going to be a weapon in the return game. How you see that?
Yeah, he looked great, man. Very aggressive in the punt return game. He's been awesome. He's been great for us and a great transition. I think he loves the offense. 8 targets today. So really good. They played like I would hope. Deuce had the one drop, but the receivers played really good, and include the tight ends in that. They played really well, especially in the passing game. And I was kind of thinking that's what we had. It was a really good skill set, really good deep receivers and tight end. They showed up today.
Lane, I think the first 7 play calls were passes to open the season. I was just curious, was that built around Austin having him settle in, or what was kind of the idea there?
I just, some of our stuff is run pass option. A lot of that's scripted, and just wanted him to start really fast. And we got really good skill guys out there and thought that was a place of attacking. We approached this game like we would an SEC game, like, hey, this is where we'd attack people. This is how we'd play against the opponent that we were playing. And that's really what it kind of dictated to, and where our strengths first, in my opinion, where their weaknesses were.
One of your leader guys, Xavier Harris, got an interception tonight. What was it like to see that moment for him, and as well, just what have you expected out of him in terms of now being one of the veteran guys on the club, and how has he kind of exceeded the expectations you set for him throughout fall camp going to this point?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy for him to be a senior, which I think there's only like 3 guys that have been here the whole time like that. It's the world we live in now today, unfortunately. So he's a force and had a great camp and really presents a lot of problems to defense. And that was exciting to see him today, and he created a lot of havoc.
Lane, you guys ran some different people in that, I guess, wildcat quarterback or formation. I don't know exactly what it's called. What did you think of that? And is that some of that experimental, or is that something you might do with multiple guys all year?
I mean, we just try to get guys in the best position, and we're very creative, I think, in that. And so, yeah, there's some experiment in there and some different things to look at and present things for other people to have to practice too.
Coach, what was your first impressions of the new look defensive line?
Really good. I thought they created a lot of problems up front. The quarterback didn't have a lot of time to throw over there, and so I thought it was really good and did a really good job. 2 of 15 on third downs. Has a lot to do with the D-line rush.
It looked to me like T.J. Daugherty stepped his game up quite a bit from last year. Can you tell a difference?
Yeah, I think he's fully healthy too. These SEC seasons take a toll on linebackers, and so a lot of them are beat up at the end of the year. And so I think he was fully healthy today, and he was able to run better than he did at the end of last year. With some injuries and stuff. So he's really our leader over there, and he's awesome. Awesome to be around.
Coach, I got to ask, I've been out there, and I've seen Landry out there as well. I got to ask how the pickleball run's going, and how fast are you getting ready to, talk some smack to some of your kids on the pickleball courts this season?
I don't know. We're kind of in season mode here, so we don't get a lot of time. We actually run over on game day right before the walk, surprisingly, to play. I just try to set up a win, so then I get my mind in the right place that we're going to win. So we get a kind of a bad opponent and go over there and play really quick. But it was a good week. We had one break where Deuce and Trey came over, and they wanted to play me and Sawyer, so they called us out in a meeting. So we went over and beat them 11-0 and then came back. Told them to stick to playing receiver. All right, guys. Have a good one.